Now, how intertwined is podcasting and your business for you?
Pretty intertwined. I mean, it's the megaphone to, the business. It's also, I started up the Independent Podcast Conference in 2014 as well, at the end of 2014, which has grown immensely since then. And we've held 5 in-person events, and eventually we'll hold a 6th in-person event. It was supposed to be this year, and I actually haven't fully made the announcement. I changed everything on the site, but we're pushing it to 2023 because there's just not enough people in our community. Everyone's like, I would love to come. Way too much uncertainty. Flights are a mess. Gas is terrible. COVID is still out there. I don't know. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna gamble a couple $1,000s on that. So like, let's just, it's not the main focus of my business. It's more of a passion project that does bring in money, but it's a passion project at the end of the day. And I love the community. I love bringing people together. I've been doing events, whether it's raves, LAN parties, working, doing our when I worked in my family's business back pre 2014, setting up the annual events that we would have at a local caterer here, where we'd have like 1,000+ people come through in about 5 hours. They'd go through all the vendor booths, go to a open bar and free buffet, and it was a great. I mean, I went to that show when I was a kid, running around grabbing pens and stuff. So for me, getting to take it over was really special, and it kind of played into I love hosting events. I love bringing people together, and just having a really great time with really great people and connecting.
Would you say that podcasting actually helps you to find clients for your business?
Yes. So that has been that's been an interesting thing. So part of the problem that I've ran into over the years was not necessarily having the marketing message line up with the business, right? So like when I won Best Business Podcast of the Year award in 2017, my show was still called The Dreamers Podcast. And, that's when I was like, all right, I went to a few of my friends. And I'm like, what do you think? Does this make sense to you? And they're like, well, Joe, I love your show. I love the guests you bring on. I love the insight. If I didn't know you, I would have passed over your show because of the name. I would have because of the name of the cover art and everything, I would have passed over it. So, that's when I started to like reevaluate, and kind of start to tweak and look at that kind of stuff. So it's not that a lot of it's like not necessarily direct. And I think a lot of times we want to think that everything's a super direct, like, hey, I put out episode, next step, profit, right? And It's not necessarily that way. It'll be that way for some people, but it's a lot of referrals, people that listen, that, get that reminder, and then they refer somebody to me, and that kind of process. So it's not direct, like I post episode, all of a sudden my phone's ringing the next day, So I would say that's actually probably a minimal amount of the business that's been brought in. Just kind of like how Independent Podcast Conference is not, it's a passion project that has brought in money into my business, like actually into my actual core business of consulting. Because, so-and-so knows so-and-so that works with somebody that's like, oh yeah, this would be a perfect fit for this. Not, and I've done like a lot of podcast coaching and stuff over the years, but again, I would still put that more in the passion side than the actual business side. That's, business side is really about the coaching work and consulting, working on the business model, working on the processes, working on the emotions and the ebbs and flows of the owner and the team that they have.